Hi, Nicholas here. This is a very exciting book revision because I'm giving you great value here because what I'm doing is I'm combining Part A and Part B together in one book, and I'm selling it for the same price, giving you more value. It's just going to be easier for me to manage, and why should I hold Part B from you? What I've also done is added a index which is navigatable. So you'll purchase a PDF and you can run it on your web browser. So you can just now, all the chapters are here indexed, and you can just click on to get to the topic, and then you can click back. So like a web browser. So it'll be, just, it's like a web page. It's just a PDF running in a browser. But one of the most interesting things I've added, which is very exciting, is the very last chapter. I've created a new chapter and I've added it in structured exercises. And what this chapter is going to do for you is I'm going to give you an example here. It's going to help you develop a whole lot of patterns that will go in your subconscious database. And so they will come out when you're playing and when you're improvising and when you're composing. And so here's an example. So the concept of this is not to rely on a visual crutch, right? We don't use this exercise as a visual crutch, and we don't use notation as a visual crutch. This exercise here is just to show you how to play the pattern. And once you work the pattern out, right, you look down at your hands and you memorize the pattern and you play it. So they're just little simple patterns, and you're going to be building these up in your head. And there's no timing information. One of the worst things you can do is, and slows you down, is when you're trying to read notation and trying to concentrate on timing and get your timing right. You spend all your effort trying to get timing correct and play it correct. But sheet music is quantized. You don't want to play it like a robot. You just don't want to play timing like a robot. I'm not saying you're a robot, but you will end up like one if you keep on playing and trying to match it. You need to get that feel going straight away for it. The timing will come naturally. So what you've got to do is you've got to concentrate on your fingers and just playing the pattern. And when you learn this, and I'll demonstrate this pattern here, and when you learn this, you just learn it smoothly, to play it smoothly, and then you'll start to introduce melodic rhythm into it, right? And then play it with melodic rhythm, and you'll develop your timing naturally. So you don't focus, number one, on timing, right? Timing will come naturally because it will really slow you down. So you want to be able to just get that database of patterns built up in your head. And this chapter, it's a living document, this whole book. So over time, once you purchase the book for $25, all revisions are free after that. So, and I'll build this section up here with all different types of patterns. So let's look at this pattern. So the first chord here is F minor. So it's saying you're playing this pattern in the key of F minor. And these symbols are telling you whether to go up and down, right? So the R at the beginning means we're using the right hand. And you've got your thumb, middle, index, and ring, and pinky fingers, right? So it's just saying, so you've got to know what this will do for you is it will get you thinking about intervals. It will get you working out the chord and the intervals. You'll be thinking in intervals, not notes, not trying to, that's F and that. We're thinking in intervals. The note, you'll naturally know, you're going to know the note, right? But you need to associate that note with the interval. Right? So you're doing an association there. Right, so we're thinking intervals. So these exercises will get you to think in intervals. Right? So, but again, it's not a crutch, you just work it out. So right thumb on one. So there's the root, right? Right. Then it says index on 2, then middle on -3. So we're just rising. So we're rising, and then we're falling back so we're here, right? Falling back to index on 2 and then rising again to -3. So falling back, then rising. So we're doing this. And then, so we're rising to middle 3 and we're still rising. So the symbols mean you keep on rising or falling until you get to a reverse symbol. So we're going to the -5 now. So there's the 5, there's the -5, right? So you get to know what a -5 is, right? So there's the 5th rule. It's just a semitone down. The 4th is up there. we're not playing the fourth, we're playing the -5, then to the 5. Right, so it just does this. And then, so you can play it slowly and smoothly. Now what you're doing now is once you've worked that pattern out, you're listening to it. You're listening to the melody of it. Now it's just a very smooth pattern, but now you can add your own melody. Oh. And then coming back down, we're going to look. So we're coming here, right ring on -5. So we're up here right now. So we've just gone up. Now we're coming down on -5. Right, there's the symbol telling you the reverse direction. But this stands on its own too, because if we're saying right ring -5 coming down to the -3. So right ring on the -5, coming down to the -3. Then going back up to the right ring, so it goes. Then back down to the index on 2, middle on 3 and thumb on 1, right? So coming down is different than going up, okay? If the same pattern going up and coming down is, we use these symbols here. Now, I've got a description in the book of what the symbols mean, right? And so this is the chapter 13, right? So we don't use finger numbers, right? We just use thumb, middle, index, ring. We don't want to get them confused with the intervals. So let's come back here. All right, so coming back down on this. So ring, middle, ring, middle. So once we got that, now we're listening for the melody and looking at the same time, because now we've identified the intervals and we know what they are, right? So, and we're coming down. So let's have another. I think it could be that. What was that? Okay. Anyway, so a lot of these patterns you can use. Now what will happen is these patterns will go into your brain, right? And the more you do, the more patterns you do, right? The more subconscious it's going to go into your subconscious. So what happens is when you're improvising, these patterns will just come out naturally, right? When you're not thinking about it, because they might. The way it works is if you're improvising and you're working on some sound, your brain will sort of try to find something that suits, and it will remember that you've done a pattern that will suit what you're doing, and it just comes out, all these patterns. So the more you do, the more you build up, right? So I'm going to just fill this out, this whole section. So this is to entice you to buy the book. So this could be a book on its own. Just chapter 13 could just be you do a whole lot of, like an exercise book with a whole lot of exercises. But as a bonus, I'm selling the whole book, and then I'll build this up over time. So any suggestions on patterns too, you'll come up with your own. If you want to come up with your own and suggest them, I can throw them in the book. Maybe give you a little credit. Maybe a link to your YouTube channel or something. Cross, what do you call it? Cross promotion. Anyway, I'm going to just keep on building these patterns up and just throwing them in. So the other thing I did in the book, I cleaned up some images because some of them were JPEGs that I put in, and I put them to bitmaps just to clean it up because they were looking a bit blurry. I've also added now links to the YouTube, right? So you can just click and go directly to the actual video, right? I think I added that in the last review. So, and that's very handy. So I'll be doing more of that. Some of these exercises at the end, I will make YouTube videos as demonstrations. But I want to entice you to buy the book, right? So I want you to buy the book. So I need to make a living. So and then we can just develop more and more and more as we build it up. So the release of this book will come out in 1st January, not January. No, it's going to come out with this section in 1st of next month, November. So in just a few days. So I'll just put in the a few of the patterns in here before I release it, just to get you started. And then I just email you updates. The first of every month, I just email you an update. So if you get your book now, the price is $25 Australian dollars. I can't guarantee that's going to be the price in the future, but once you buy it, because I'm just going to reflect the market, whatever the market. If there's a lot of demand, I'll put the price up. I'm not going to put the price down. No way. It's 25 Australian dollars. But you purchase it now, you've got a lifetime of revisions, and that's just a one-off cost. So, all right, that's it for the review, and I'll better get back to work. Okay, see you, bye.